The marble lobby gleamed under crystal chandeliers. Linda Hayes gripped her phone, knuckles white. "I confirmed this reservation 3 times, she said, voice tight. 3 times. The desk clerk wouldn't meet her eyes. The system merge corrupted several bookings. We only have the 1-bedroom suite available." Beside her, Jordan Blake scrolled his tablet. 35. Billionaire. Her boss for 3 years. 3 years of perfect professionalism, of locking away every inappropriate thought. "It's fine, Linda." His voice was smooth, unbothered. "I'll take the couch." Her stomach dropped. "Sir, I can find another hotel. The investor breakfast is at 7. Here." He finally looked at her, gray eyes unreadable. "I need you at 6 to review everything. It makes no sense for you to stay across town." The suite stole her breath. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Lake Michigan, dark water dotted with city lights. The bedroom door stood open, revealing an enormous bed dressed in white linens. "I'll take the sitting room," she said immediately. "Don't be ridiculous." Jordan loosened his tie. "The bedroom is yours. I have emails anyway. I'll be up late." She retreated to change, hyper-aware of the thin door between them. When she emerged in yoga pants and an oversized sweater, Jordan stood at the window with whiskey in hand, jacket discarded, sleeves rolled up. "You should eat something," she said, falling into familiar patterns. "You skipped lunch." "So did you." She ordered 2 steaks. Medium rare for him. Well done for her. Because after 3 years, she knew exactly how he liked everything. They sat at the small dining table. No clients. No meetings. Just them. "You grew up in Wisconsin, right?" Jordan asked suddenly. Linda paused, fork halfway to her mouth. "Minnesota. Small town called Burwood." "Sorry. I should know that." He actually looked embarrassed. "Tell me about it." "Why?" The question came out sharper than intended. Jordan set down his knife. "Because I know everything about how you take your coffee and nothing about who you actually are. And that's not okay." Her heart hammered. Dangerous territory. "I'm your assistant, sir. My job is to know about you." "Jordan," he corrected quietly. "When it's just us, call me Jordan." "And that's a terrible answer." She took a sip of water. "Buying time." "Fine. Burwood. Population 3,000. Dad owns a hardware store. Mom substitutes at the school. 2 younger brothers who think I sold out moving to the big city." "Did you sell out?" Linda considered the question honestly. "No. I wanted more." "Is that so wrong?" "Not at all." His eyes held hers. "I wanted more too. My father thought I was crazy turning down his law firm to start a tech company in my garage. We didn't speak for 2 years. But you reconciled. After the first big acquisition. When he realized I wasn't going to fail spectacularly." Jordan smiled without humor. "He's proud now. Tells everyone about his son, the billionaire. But he never asked if I was happy." The vulnerability in his voice made her chest tighten. "Are you?" The question slipped out before she could stop it. Jordan stared at his plate. "I don't know. I've been so focused on building, on winning, on being successful that I forgot to check if any of it actually matters." This wasn't the Jordan Blake the world saw. Not the confident CEO who commanded boardrooms. This was someone lonely and uncertain. "It matters," she said. Nextech has changed how people connect. The educational program sent 300 kids to college. The medical AI is saving lives. That matters. But who do I share it with? He looked at her directly. I have houses I never visit, cars I never drive, money I can't possibly spend. And at the end of the day, I eat dinner alone or at business functions where everyone wants something from me. That's the price of success. Is it worth it? She thought of her own small apartment, her carefully budgeted life. Family she rarely saw because she was always working. I don't know. Ask me when I get there. You're already there, Linda. Jordan stood, collecting their plates. You've sacrificed just as much as I have. Maybe more. It's not the same. Isn't it? When was the last time you went on a date? Saw your family? Did something just for yourself? Defensive anger rose in her chest. My job is demanding. You need someone available. I need a lot of things. His voice was soft. But I never asked what you needed. The air between them felt charged. Electric. Linda stood abruptly. I should get some sleep. Tomorrow is important. Linda. She paused at the bedroom door. Thank you, Jordan said. For everything. Not just today. Everything. She nodded, not trusting her voice, and closed the door between them. But as she lay in that enormous bed staring at the ceiling, Linda knew something had shifted. The careful professional distance they'd maintained for 3 years had cracked. And she had no idea how to repair it. Or if she even wanted to. Linda woke at 5:30. Her internal alarm more reliable than any device. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then last night came flooding back. The conversation. His vulnerability. The way he'd looked at her across the dinner table. She needed coffee and distance. In that order. When she emerged already dressed in her navy suit, Jordan was asleep on the couch. Shirtless. A thin blanket covered him from the waist down. His dark hair was messy, his face relaxed in a way she never saw during waking hours. He looked younger. Less guarded. Something dangerous bloomed in her chest. She turned away quickly and started the coffee maker. The sound caused Jordan to stir. What time is it? His voice was rough with sleep. 5:45. I made coffee. She kept her back to him, focusing intently on adding cream. She heard him stand. Heard fabric rustle. Linda. About last night. The investor meeting is at 7. She interrupted, tone brisk. I printed the updated projections. The presentation is loaded and tested. Your blue suit is pressed and hanging in the closet. Linda. The investors are specifically interested in the healthcare AI division. I flagged the relevant statistics. There are 3 potential concerns they might raise, and I prepared responses for each. Stop. His hand touched her shoulder. She froze. Look at me. Linda turned slowly, expression neutral. Jordan had put on his shirt but hadn't buttoned it yet. He looked concerned. Almost worried. Last night wasn't a mistake, he said. I meant what I said. All of it. It doesn't matter. Linda moved away, putting the kitchen island between them. We have a working relationship that functions well. Let's not complicate it. What if I want it complicated? Her heart stuttered. Sir. Jordan. We have investors arriving in an hour. Can we focus on that? Something flickered in his eyes. Disappointment maybe. Or resignation. Of course. You're right. Business first. But it didn't feel like agreement. It felt like retreat. The investor breakfast went perfectly. Jordan was brilliant, charming, commanding. Linda anticipated every need, provided every statistic, smoothed every potential problem. They were a flawless team. But something had changed. The easy synchronization felt forced now. Linda was hyper-aware of every accidental touch, every shared glance. By noon, they were in the car heading to the airport. The meeting went well, Jordan said, staring out the window. Thanks to you. Just doing my job. Right. Your job. His voice was flat. Silence stretched between them. Thick and uncomfortable. Linda's phone buzzed. A text from her mother. Haven't heard from you in 3 weeks, honey. Are you okay? Guilt twisted in her stomach. When had she last called home? Last visited? My father wants me to come to his birthday party, Jordan said suddenly. Next month. He'll have his partners there, business associates. He'll want to show me off. That sounds lovely. Jordan laughed bitterly. It sounds exhausting. Pretending we're a normal family. Pretending he actually knows me. Linda looked at him. Really looked. At the tension in his jaw, the shadows under his eyes. Do you want to go? No. But I will. Because that's what we do, right? Show up. Perform. Sacrifice what we actually want for what's expected. The words hung in the air. Jordan. Forget it. He closed his eyes. I'm tired. Didn't sleep well on that couch. You could have taken the bed. No, I couldn't. The intensity in his voice made her breath catch. At the airport, Jordan's private jet waited. Linda had flown on it dozens of times. But today, the confined space felt suffocating. They were 30 minutes into the flight when Jordan's phone rang. He answered, listened, and his face went white. When? His voice was sharp. How bad? Linda sat forward. What's wrong? Jordan ended the call. There's been a data breach. Someone accessed our healthcare AI code. Everything we just pitched to those investors. That's impossible. We have triple redundancy security. Apparently not. He stood, pacing. This could destroy us, Linda. If that code gets out before we launch, if competitors reverse engineer it. Who would do this? Jordan's jaw clenched. I have an idea. He pulled up something on his tablet and handed it to her. An email chain. Between Jordan and someone named Marcus Chen. Discussing the healthcare AI project. Expressing concerns about Jordan's leadership. Suggesting alternatives. Marcus was my co-founder, Jordan said quietly. We built Nextech together. But 3 years ago, the board forced me to choose. Him or full control of the company. Linda felt sick. You chose control. I chose survival. Marcus wanted to take us public too early, wanted to chase trends instead of building something lasting. The board sided with me. And now he's stealing your code. Our code. Jordan's eyes were hard. He helped create the foundation. Maybe he thinks he deserves it. Do you? Think he deserves it? Jordan looked at her. No. He walked away with $50 million. He made his choice. Linda's phone buzzed. An unknown number. She answered. Hello? Linda Hayes? A man's voice. Smooth and confident. You don't know me, but we should talk. About Jordan Blake. About what he's really like. About what he's done. Her blood went cold. Who is this? Someone who knows the truth. Meet me tonight. Chicago. I'll text you the address. Come alone. The line went dead. Jordan was watching her. Who was that? Linda's mind raced. This could be the person behind the breach. Or it could be a trap. Or it could be the truth Jordan never wanted her to know. Wrong number, she lied, and saw something flicker in Jordan's eyes. He didn't believe her. And for the first time in 3 years, Linda wondered if she actually knew the man she worked for at all. The address led Linda to a coffee shop in downtown Chicago. Small. Quiet. The kind of place where people went to disappear. She'd told Jordan she had a family emergency. Another lie. They were piling up now, creating distance where there used to be perfect trust. Marcus Chen sat in the back corner. Younger than she expected. Maybe 40, with kind eyes and an easy smile. Nothing like the villain Jordan had painted. Linda Hayes. He stood when she approached. Thank you for coming. Who are you? Sit. Please. He gestured to the chair across from him. I promise, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to warn you. Linda remained standing. About what? Marcus sighed. About Jordan Blake. About the man you think you know. I know him perfectly well. Do you? Marcus pulled out a folder. 3 years ago, Jordan and I built Nextech together. Equal partners. Best friends since college. We were going to change the world. Until the board forced him to choose. Is that what he told you? Marcus smiled sadly. The board never forced anything. Jordan orchestrated the whole thing. He went to them privately, showed them fabricated concerns about my management, planted seeds of doubt. Then he presented himself as the solution. Linda's stomach turned. You're lying. Am I? Marcus slid the folder across the table. Email chains. Board meeting minutes. All time-stamped. Jordan spent 6 months systematically destroying my reputation so he could take full control. She didn't want to open it. Didn't want to see. But her hands moved anyway. The documents were real. Detailed. Damning. Emails from Jordan to board members. Marcus is becoming erratic. I'm concerned about his judgment. Perhaps we need new leadership. He didn't just force me out, Marcus said quietly. He made sure I could never start another company. He told investors I was unstable. Unreliable. I took the $50 million because it was the only way to make him stop. Linda felt sick. Why are you telling me this? Because 3 years ago, there was someone else who stood by Jordan. Someone who believed in him completely. Her name was Sarah Mitchell. She was his chief operating officer. The name was familiar. Linda had seen it in old company records. What happened to her? She found out what Jordan did to me. She confronted him. Threatened to go public. Marcus's voice was heavy. Jordan destroyed her career. Blacklisted her across the industry. Last I heard, she was working retail in Oregon. The walls felt like they were closing in. You're lying, Linda whispered. But her voice lacked conviction. The healthcare AI code that was stolen? Marcus leaned forward. I didn't take it. But I know who did. Someone inside Nextech. Someone who's tired of watching Jordan destroy anyone who gets too close to the truth. Who? That's what you need to find out. Marcus stood. Because whoever it is, they're planning something bigger. And if you're still standing next to Jordan when it happens, you'll go down with him. Linda's phone buzzed. Jordan. Where are you? We need to talk. Now. He knows you're here, Marcus said. He always knows. Jordan Blake controls everything in his orbit. The question is, are you going to let him control you? Linda drove back to the office in a daze. Her mind spun with Marcus's words, the documents in the folder, the creeping certainty that she'd been blind. 3 years. She'd given Jordan 3 years of her life. Her time. Her energy. Her loyalty. What if it had all been a lie? Jordan was waiting in his office. standing at the window. His posture rigid. You met with Marcus Chen. Not a question. A statement. Linda closed the door behind her. How did you know? Because I know you. Jordan turned. His face was carefully blank. And because I've been tracking Marcus since the data breach. He contacted you. I assume he had quite a story to tell. He showed me documents. Forgeries. They looked real. Of course they did. Jordan's voice was cold. Marcus is brilliant. That's why I partnered with him. It's also why he's dangerous. Did he tell you I destroyed him? That I orchestrated his removal? Yes. And you believed him. Linda's throat was tight. I don't know what to believe anymore. Something cracked in Jordan's expression. Pain, raw and real. After everything, he said softly. After 3 years. You still don't trust me. You never told me about Marcus. About Sarah Mitchell. You never told me the truth. What truth? Jordan's voice rose. That building a company requires hard choices? That sometimes you have to cut away what's holding you back? That not everyone who smiles at you is your friend? You destroyed their lives. I built an empire. He slammed his hand on the desk. Marcus wanted to sell out to the highest bidder. Sarah was leaking proprietary information to competitors. I did what I had to do to survive. By ruining them. By protecting what we built. Jordan stepped closer. Every empire is built on sacrifice, Linda. You know that. You've sacrificed everything for this company. For me. The truth of it hit her like a physical blow. Was any of it real? Her voice broke. Last night. The things you said. Jordan's jaw clenched. Every word. Then prove it. Tell me the truth about the data breach. About who's really behind it. Silence stretched between them. Thick and suffocating. I can't, Jordan finally said. Can't or won't. It's complicated. Linda felt something inside her shatter. I quit. Jordan went very still. What? I quit. I'm done. She pulled her access badge from around her neck and set it on his desk. Find someone else to sacrifice for you. Linda, wait. But she was already walking toward the door. It's my father. The words stopped her cold. Linda turned slowly. What? Jordan's face was ashen. The data breach. It's my father. He's been selling information to Marcus. Using it to leverage a position on the board. He wants control of the company. Your father is sabotaging you? He never forgave me for not joining his law firm. For succeeding without him. Jordan's voice was hollow. He's been planning this for months. Marcus is just the weapon. My father is the one pulling the trigger. Linda stared at him. At the broken man in front of her. Why didn't you tell me? Because it's humiliating. Because it means everything I built, everything I sacrificed for, my own father wants to destroy. Jordan's hands were shaking. I've been trying to stop it quietly. To protect the company. But I'm losing, Linda. I'm losing everything. She should walk away. Should run from this mess. Instead, she found herself asking, what do you need? Jordan looked at her. Really looked at her. You, he said simply. I need you. And Linda realized with terrible clarity that despite everything, despite the lies and the manipulation and the moral ambiguity, she wasn't going anywhere. She picked up her badge and put it back around her neck. Then let's figure out how to stop him. They worked through the night. Jordan's office became a war room. Coffee cups multiplied on surfaces. Documents covered every available space. Your father has been funneling information through a dummy account, Linda said, pointing at her laptop screen. Here. See the timestamps? Every leak corresponds to when you sent him internal updates. Jordan's face was stone. I was trying to include him. To make him proud. He used your trust as a weapon. Story of my life. The bitterness in his voice was sharp enough to cut. Linda pulled up another file. Marcus has been coordinating with 3 board members. They have enough votes to remove you as CEO. The meeting is scheduled for Monday. 3 days. Jordan leaned back in his chair. We have 3 days to stop this. Or we could let it happen. He looked at her sharply. What? Linda stood, pacing. Think about it. Your father wants control. The board wants new leadership. Maybe it's time to walk away. Walk away from everything I built. Walk away from the fight. From the constant battle. From the people who want to destroy you. She stopped in front of him. You asked me last night if you were happy. You said you didn't know. Maybe this is your answer. Jordan's eyes searched hers. And do what? Quit? Surrender? Start over. Build something new. Something that's actually yours. With what? My reputation will be destroyed. My father will make sure of that. Linda pulled out her phone. Showed him a number. Marcus gave me his contact information. He said if I ever wanted the truth, I should call. You want to work with Marcus? I want to save you. Her voice was fierce. Jordan, you're being eaten alive by this company. By your father's expectations. By the constant need to prove yourself. Maybe losing is actually winning. Jordan stood. They were inches apart now. And you? His voice was low. What happens to you if I walk away? I'll figure it out. No. He shook his head. You'll be blacklisted too. My father will make sure of it. Anyone who stood with me goes down. Linda had already considered this. Had already accepted it. Then we go down together. Something shifted in Jordan's expression. You would do that? Throw away your career for me? You said last night I've already sacrificed everything for this job. Maybe it's time I sacrifice it for something that actually matters. Jordan's hand came up to cup her face. His thumb brushed her cheek. Linda. She could feel his breath on her lips. Could see every shade of gray in his eyes. We can't, she whispered. But she didn't move away. We already have. The kiss was inevitable. 3 years of tension, of buried feelings, of professional distance finally combusting. Jordan's hands tangled in her hair. Linda gripped his shirt. The world narrowed to just this. Just them. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Jordan rested his forehead against hers. I'm going to fight, he said. Not for the company. Not for my father's approval. For this. For us. For the chance at something real. How? By doing what you said. Letting go of everything else. Jordan pulled back, eyes clear. I'll step down as CEO. Voluntarily. Before the board meeting. I'll negotiate my exit and make sure you're protected. Jordan, no. Yes. His voice was firm. I'll keep my shares. Keep my wealth. But the job? The constant fighting? I'm done. I choose you, Linda. I choose us. Her heart was hammering. What about your father? Marcus? They can have the company. It's just a thing. A building. A name. Jordan smiled, and it was the first genuine smile she'd seen in days. I built it once. I can build something better. Something that doesn't cost me everything. Linda felt tears prick her eyes. You're serious. I've never been more serious about anything in my life. He kissed her again, softer this time. I've spent 3 years watching you hold my life together. It's time I started living it instead. They spent the next 2 days preparing. Jordan drafted his resignation. Negotiated terms. Made sure Linda would receive a significant severance package and glowing references. On Sunday night, the night before the board meeting, Jordan called his father. Linda sat beside him. He'd asked her to be there. Needed her to be there. Dad. Jordan's voice was steady. I'm stepping down as CEO. Silence on the other end. Then, what game are you playing? No game. I'm done. You win. You're lying. His father's voice was sharp. You wouldn't give up that easily. You're right. It wasn't easy. But it's necessary. Jordan looked at Linda. I've spent my whole life trying to make you proud. Trying to prove I was good enough. Smart enough. Successful enough. And it was never enough, was it? Jordan. Was it? The pain in his voice was raw. Tell me, Dad. Tell me what I needed to do to make you love me. More silence. Heavy and damning. That's what I thought, Jordan said quietly. I'm announcing my resignation tomorrow. The board will appoint interim leadership. I'm keeping my shares and my seat on the board, but the CEO position is open. Maybe Marcus wants it. Maybe you can finally have the son you wanted. You're making a mistake. No. The mistake was thinking your approval mattered more than my happiness. Jordan's hand found Linda's. I'm starting over. And this time, I'm doing it right. He ended the call. Linda squeezed his hand. How do you feel? Jordan was quiet for a long moment. Then he laughed. Actually laughed. Free, he said. I feel free. They stayed up late that night. Talking. Planning. Dreaming about what came next. Small tech company, Jordan said. Something focused on education. On actually helping people. With a healthy work-life balance, Linda added. And vacations. Real ones. And time. He pulled her closer. Time for this. For us. Linda rested her head on his shoulder. What about Marcus? Your father? They'll have each other. They deserve each other. Jordan kissed the top of her head. I'm done fighting ghosts. I'm done sacrificing what matters for what doesn't. I'm proud of you, Linda whispered. Yeah. Yeah. Monday morning came too quickly. The board room was packed. Jordan's father sat at the head of the table, looking smug. Marcus was there too, watching with careful eyes. Jordan stood. Linda beside him. I've called this meeting to announce my resignation as CEO of Nextech, effective immediately. The room erupted. Shocked voices. Questions. Jordan's father looked stunned. I'll remain on the board as a shareholder, Jordan continued calmly. But the day-to-day operations will pass to whoever the board appoints. I recommend a nationwide search for the best candidate. Someone who actually wants the job. You can't be serious, his father finally found his voice. I am. Completely. Jordan looked at him. You wanted me gone. I'm gone. Congratulations. This is a trick. No trick. Just a man choosing something different. Jordan gathered his papers. Linda Hayes will be transitioning out as well. I trust her severance package will be honored as negotiated. He turned to leave. Linda followed. Jordan. Marcus's voice stopped them. Can we talk? Later. Just us. Jordan considered. Maybe. Someday. But not today. They walked out together. Past the conference room. Past Jordan's office. Past 3 years of history. The morning sun was bright as they stepped outside. Where do we go now? Linda asked. Jordan took her hand. Anywhere we want. And for the first time in 3 years, Linda believed in happy endings. 6 months later. Linda stood in a small office overlooking Lake Michigan. Different building. Different view. Same city. But everything else had changed. The space was modest. 5 employees. A mission statement on the wall, technology that teaches. Innovation that matters. Blake Educational Solutions was nothing like Nextech. It was smaller, scrappier, funded by Jordan's personal wealth and a few carefully chosen investors who believed in the vision more than the profit. And it was theirs. Coffee? Jordan appeared beside her, 2 mugs in hand. He wore jeans and a simple button-down. No tie. No armor. Always. She took the mug, their fingers brushing. 6 months and that touch still sent electricity through her. They'd spent the first month after leaving Nextech just existing. Visiting Linda's family in Minnesota. Jordan had sat at her mother's kitchen table eating homemade pie and talking about hardware stores with her father. Her brothers had been suspicious at first but warmed up when Jordan helped them fix a broken tractor. He's different than I expected, her mother had whispered. Quieter. Kinder. He's himself, Linda had replied. Finally. The second month they'd traveled. Real traveling. Not business trips where every minute was scheduled. They'd gone to Scotland, to small villages where nobody knew Jordan Blake's name. They'd hiked and eaten pub food and fallen asleep tangled together in tiny bed and breakfast rooms. Somewhere in the Scottish Highlands, on a cliff overlooking the sea, Jordan had asked her to marry him. No ring. No plan. Just raw honesty. I don't know what our future looks like, he'd said. But I know I want you in it. Every day. Every version of it. Linda had said yes without hesitation. Now, back in Chicago, they were building something new. The educational app they developed was gaining traction. Small schools in rural areas. Kids who couldn't afford traditional tutoring. The profit margins were thin, but the impact was real. Marcus called this morning, Jordan said, breaking the silence. Linda looked at him. They never talked about Nextech anymore. About what they'd left behind. What did he want? To apologize, actually. Jordan smiled wryly. Turns out my father drove him crazy within 2 months. Marcus resigned as CEO last week. He's starting his own thing. Something with renewable energy. And your father? Still on the board. Still trying to control everything. Jordan shrugged. But it's not my problem anymore. The company's doing fine without me. Better, maybe. Stock prices are up. Linda heard what he wasn't saying. That walking away had been the right choice. Do you miss it? She asked. The power? The recognition? Jordan considered the question seriously. Sometimes. Late at night when I can't sleep, I think about what I built. What I gave up. But then I look at what I have now and I can't imagine going back. He set down his coffee and took her hand. The engagement ring caught the light. Simple gold band with a single diamond. I was drowning there, Linda. I just didn't know it until you threw me a lifeline. You threw yourself the lifeline. I just witnessed it. No. His gray eyes were intense. You made me want to survive. You made me want to be better. To choose better. A knock on the door interrupted them. Sarah Mitchell stood there. The former COO Jordan had supposedly destroyed. Except he hadn't. Not really. The truth had been more complicated. Sarah had been feeding information to competitors, but not maliciously. She'd been trying to expose safety flaws in a product Jordan had refused to delay. The product that had nearly killed 2 people before Jordan had finally pulled it. When Linda had tracked Sarah down 3 months ago, ready to hear horror stories, she'd found something different. Regret. Understanding. And a woman who had moved on. You ready? Sarah asked. She'd joined Blake Educational Solutions as Chief Operating Officer last month. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Ready, Linda confirmed. They were presenting to a school district today. 50 schools. 15,000 students. It would triple their reach overnight. Jordan caught Linda's hand as she moved past him. Pulled her close. Kissed her softly. Thank you, he whispered against her lips. For what? For seeing me. The real me. Before I even knew who that was. Linda smiled. Thank you for choosing to become him. The presentation went well. The school district signed on. By evening, they were celebrating at a small restaurant. No fancy investor dinners. Just their team. 5 people who believed in what they were building. Jordan's phone buzzed during dessert. He glanced at it and his expression shifted. What's wrong? Linda asked. Email from my father. Jordan showed her the screen. I was wrong about you. About what matters. I don't expect forgiveness. But I wanted you to know. I'm proud of who you've become. Even if it meant walking away from everything I thought you should be. Jordan stared at the words for a long moment. Then he put the phone away. You're not going to respond? Linda asked gently. Maybe. Eventually. Jordan's hand found hers across the table. But not tonight. Tonight I'm exactly where I want to be. Later, in their apartment, Jordan pulled Linda onto the balcony. The city sparkled below them. Endless lights. Endless possibilities. I have something to tell you, Linda said. She'd been holding this all day. Waiting for the right moment. Yeah. I'm pregnant. Jordan went very still. You're serious. 3 months. I wanted to be sure before I told you. He pulled her into his arms. Held her so tight she could barely breathe. A baby, he whispered. We're having a baby. Are you happy? Linda pulled back to see his face. Jordan's eyes were wet. Happy doesn't even begin to cover it. Terrified. Amazed. Grateful. He laughed. What if I mess it up? What if I'm like my father? You won't be. Because you already made the choice he never did. Linda cupped his face. You chose love over legacy. You chose people over profit. You chose to be present. I chose you, Jordan said. And you chose me back. Even when I didn't deserve it. Especially when you didn't deserve it. They stood there, holding each other, watching the city breathe below them. 2 people who had sacrificed everything and found something better in the ashes. Jordan's empire had crumbled. Linda's perfect career had ended. But from the ruins, they'd built something that actually mattered. A life. A love. A future. What do you think? Jordan asked, his hand moving to rest on Linda's stomach. Boy or girl? Does it matter? Not even a little bit. He kissed her temple. As long as they're healthy. And know they're loved. And never have to choose between success and happiness. Linda turned to face him fully. I love you, Jordan Blake. I love you, Linda Hayes. He paused. Soon to be Linda Blake. Soon to be, she agreed. The wedding was planned for spring. Small ceremony in Minnesota. Her family. A few close friends. Marcus had agreed to come. Even Sarah would be there. Jordan's father hadn't responded to the invitation yet. Maybe he never would. But that was okay. They'd learned to build their happiness without needing anyone else's approval. The city lights blurred as Linda's eyes filled with tears. Happy tears. Grateful tears. 3 years ago, she'd stood in a hotel lobby watching her carefully ordered life unravel. Thinking the one-bed suite was a disaster. It had been the beginning of everything that mattered. Come on, Jordan said, pulling her inside. It's cold. You're shivering. I'm not cold. I'm happy. Then come inside anyway. Let me show you just how happy I can make you. Linda laughed and let him lead her inside. Their apartment. Their life. Their choice. Behind them, the city continued its endless dance. Nexteca's building still stood, still glowed, still powered on without them. But Jordan Blake and Linda Hayes had found something more valuable than any empire. They'd found each other. Found truth. Found freedom. And in the end, that was worth more than all the success in the world. The end.